Good morning. I had a great conversation yesterday and it got me thinking. I was down in the fitness center and I was talking to the corporate CEO of a company I'm working with, and we were talking about how he, who is from Germany, when his first trip to the US many years ago, he had just a few years here, and he was able to visit just everywhere, right? Every national landmark and park and just major city. And he made note, he said, it's funny because most of the time I've seen more places than you guys who lived here your whole life. And he said, I think it's because you guys can kind of just do it whenever. And I said, and because we can do it whenever, we never do. And as this ruminated in my mind, and as I was kind of just thinking about this, I realized the power of intentionality in this whole dynamic. Why is it that visitors to a place often see more of that place than the residents? The residents have all day, every day, any day to go do that. And I think the difference is not the opportunity or availability. The difference is the intentionality. When people visit a place, they usually have two things: a limited amount of time and an agenda to make the most of that time. And so if I go to Arizona, I'm going to make sure to see the Grand Canyon. And if I go to California, I might want to see the Hollywood Hills or maybe the beach, or maybe go to Disneyland or Universal Studios or whatever. If I go to Florida, maybe it's Disney World or maybe it's a SpaceX or whatever. If I go to Maine, I'm probably going to get lobster, and if I go to Colorado, I might even go skiing. But I can say that I lived in Colorado for 15 years and never once got on those slopes. I lived in Arizona for about 20 years, and I did see the Grand Canyon, I'll give you that, but to date, I have never been to Sedona, one of the most beautiful places in Arizona. And I've recently moved to South Carolina, and time will tell whether I take the opportunity. But the question is not, is the opportunity there? The question is, will there be intentionality? Now, we're 3 minutes into this video, and I'm talking about where I visited, and is that really the point? Of course not. Of course not. I want to speak to the deeper intrinsic value of this principle of intentionality. Too many people, we go through our lives and we don't go anywhere. No, I'm not talking about the Grand Canyon. I'm not talking about the Empire State Building. I mean, our lives don't go anywhere. We're existing, but we're not living. We're here, but we're not thriving. We find ourselves in the humdrum of life, bebopping along, not really accomplishing anything, not really making an impact, not really achieving anything. And then we can't figure out why we don't feel like we've done anything. We can't figure out why there's no legacy. We can't figure out why there's not a boulevard named after us and a monument in the town square. I'm not saying we need a monument or a boulevard. I'm saying, why aren't we leaving an impact? And the reason is not because we don't want to. Guarantee you, if I ask anybody, hey, do you want to leave a legacy? First, they're going to think I'm an insurance salesman, and we got to get past that, right? But when I ask, do you want to leave a legacy? And they go, well, what do you mean by that? Do you want to be remembered? Do you want to be thought fondly of? Do you want to make an impact in the world? Most people are going to say yes. Nobody wants to be the guy that nobody knew and everybody hated. Everybody wants to be the man or woman that made a difference. We want to be the Rosa Parks. We want to be MLK. We want to be Winston Churchill. We want to be somebody whose name is remembered for good things. That does not come without intentionality. Just like I will never see the Empire State Building unless I intend to go there, as a rule. It's kind of a big building. I might see it if I accidentally look up. But seriously, like, unless I go to the place where the thing is and then desire, hey, what do I need to do to see it and do it and be there and engage it and experience it, unless I'm willing to put the energy in it, unless I have the intentionality to make that happen, I'm never going to. And the same thing is true with my life. If I don't know where I'm going, I'll probably end up somewhere else. I believe that's Eleanor Roosevelt's. Covey would say, begin with the end in mind. What is it that I want to achieve? What is it that you want to achieve? I hope we get to go see some cool things. I would love it to be able to see you at one of these places. Forget the Grand Canyon, forget the St. Louis Arch, forget the beaches of California or Florida. What about life? What about your legacy? And since my heart is to empower leaders, what about your team? What level of intentionality are you exhibiting and manifesting that will allow your team to do great things because you are not just existing, you're thriving? This has been a longer video today. Thank you so much for joining me today on the Servant Minded Leadership channel. We empower leaders to change the world.